Welcome back to Phillips Hot Rod Garage. All right guys, I got this real good looking 57 Chevrolet that just come in to the shop. Today I'm at work, I'm not in the home shop, but 57 Chevrolet come in. Guy wants to add dual antennas to it, and I got to fill in the antenna hole on the right fender, repaint the fender, and add dual antennas on the quarter panel, on each quarter panel on the back. I think it's going to be a really neat project, so I wanted to bring you guys down here to my workplace and give you an idea of the kind of stuff that I do every day here in the body shop. So hope you guys enjoy this little antenna install on this 57. I'm gonna take you guys around the car and show you some things about it. It's a really neat piece, and then we're gonna get started to work. So this is a pretty nice car. Original hubcaps, wide whites, Bel-Air, two-door hardtop. Got the Continental kit back there on the back. I'm gonna fill in this antenna hole. I'm gonna weld that up, paint the fender. Gonna put the dual antennas back here on the back. I'll show you what those look like here in just a minute. And there's the Continental kit on the back of it. Show you guys what the interior looks like on it. Looks really good. Got the plastic covers over the seats to protect them. It's a good looking car. There have been some modifications made to it. It's not 100% original. Let's take a look under the hood. All right, it is the original engine and transmission, but they've put power brakes on it, air conditioning. They got an electric fan out here. There's a compressor, Optima battery. They've got it where they can enjoy the car. I don't know about the front. They may have disc brakes on it. I don't know. Haven't got under there and looked, but it does still have the power glide in it. So power brakes, power steering, and air makes it a really good driver. So yeah, it's a really nice car. So let's get started cutting on it. All right, so I got Greg here with me. Greg's my helper. Helps me here in the body shop, works with me here. And here, go ahead. We're gonna unpack this little antenna kit and see what we got. See what we're working with here. I'll get this one. We need to keep them separated because there's a left and a right. So just put that box over here with this one so we'll see what's what here. We don't want to get them mixed up. It's the first time I've laid eyes on this kit, so I really don't know what all it consists of, but we're gonna figure it out. This one says it is the, I don't know, what side? What's this say on it?
Right.
All right. No rear cable as original antenna for the right rear. All right. That's the right rear, does not have a cable. So this is gonna be a dummy antenna. I'm gonna call it a dummy. No offense, Greg. No offense to anybody out there. This is a dummy. All right, there's no antenna wire, no cable, because this one is just for looks, and the box says as original. So I'm assuming that that's how they came if they had the dual antenna option from the factory. And I'm assuming that they had a dual antenna option from the factory. I really don't know. But it looks like they've got some templates with it that we can use. Got an antenna just for looks for one side, and then we got a cable, more templates, more brackets, and an antenna for the left rear here that we can actually use to play the radio. So there we go, Greg. We got to figure out where they got to go, get these templates put onto the car, and get started drilling some holes. All right, so let's go ahead and see about getting these templates put on. See if we can get them lined up, taped down here. Yours looking good, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
Now your side's got writing on it. This side's upside down, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of transferring some marks from one side to the other on this one. It won't be a problem. All right, it looks pretty good. Let me go check your side out. It looks pretty good. Yeah, it sounds like we got somebody just drove up out there. Sound like their vehicle's rattling too. All right, that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and mark these holes here and get these drilled. All right, so I gotta have a 3/16 drill bit. That's a 5/16. I can't hardly see that. There we go, 3/16. All right. All right, so this part is not for those with a weak stomach or the faint at heart. This is also not the part that I want to do, but it's got to be done if I want to get paid. Well, got to get it lined up right there. Perfect. All right, so over here on the driver's side, since they did not print a left and right template, you have to turn it upside down on the driver's side. I've got to transfer some holes from one side to the other, so I'm just gonna take this little sharp pointed tool and poke through it. Just like that. That should get me right where I need to be. Greg, hand me that little gold tool if you would. Yeah, that's it. All right, this should get us right where we need to be. Greg, you want to do it?
I'm good, you go ahead.
All right. Can't be scared of it, Greg. All right, Greg, I think we can get these templates off here now. Actually, just take it up from the back and peel it back in case we need to lay it down on there again. Just peel it back like this, stick it down. We may have to lay it back down for some reason, I don't know, maybe not. All right, I can start drilling. All right, so the back hole's gotta be a 3/16, front hole's gotta be a 7/8. So here we go. We're only gonna drill through one layer. There's another layer of metal under the bottom that's gotta be drilled to a different size. On this 3/16 hole, all we gotta do is drill through the outside layer, but on the 7/8 hole on the front, we're gonna have to drill again from the bottom because it's actually gotta be larger from the bottom so the antenna fits up in there. So here we go. There we go. All right, so now for the driver's side. Greg, it sounds like the trash truck's out there picking up limbs and leaves out from beside the road. Is that what that noise is?
That's what it sounds like.
All right. All right, so the front hole has got to be a 7/8. But before I go to town with the hole saw, I think I'm gonna go ahead and drill a pilot hole with a regular 1/4" bit so that I don't have to drill it with the hole saw. That makes it a little bit cumbersome. It's easier just to go ahead and drill a pilot hole to begin with and then switch over to the hole saw. All right, there we go. Let's go drill it. Well, there we go. You know where the key is?
Hadn't seen it.
Oh, there it is. In my pocket. All right, is anything in the way under here? Nope. All right, so they sent another template to use under the bottom. So we've got to put the top template back down in place. And then there's a mark here we got to line up the new template for the bottom with. I'm going to line it up right here. This has the fold under the bottom. Like that. And we got to tape it down. And then it has a mark we got to go by to drill from the bottom. Hand me some tape, Greg, if you would, please, sir. All right, so now I got to get under there, see if I can see it. That ought to work. All right, Greg, I think to be able to get in here with the drill, I'm going to lay down in the trunk, so we need to take this tire out. I'm going to let you handle that. All right, let's get a hole drilled here. You know the aggravating part about stuff like this?
What?
Not really aggravating, but just the scary part. You're always afraid when that bit catches, it's going to go through the outside of the car. All right. Where's that instruction sheet? All right, so the instructions say to drill the hole on the inside to 1 3/8 inches. So it's going to be this smallest one right here. 1 3/8 inches. All right. Perfect. All right, so the hole on the inside's done. Now we got to open this hole on the outside to a 7/8. All right, 7/8. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna put down some tape here to sort of protect this the best I can. There's always a chance that this could completely go sideways and rip about half the paint off the top of this quarter panel. But we're just hoping that doesn't happen. Alright, let's test fit this and see how it's going to work. Hopefully these holes are in the right spot. If they're not, it's too late. Well, everything looks to be lining up pretty good. Came out of the hole back there. All right, it's back in. Well, I'd say that's a success. Now we got to get the other side done. All right, so we already drilled the back hole to a 3/16. Now I got my 1/4" bit. I'm gonna drill a pilot hole for the hole saw in the front hole, 1/4". Then we'll switch over to the 7/8. All right. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and drill that hole on the inside, Greg, if you want to get that template that goes here. It says to fold this the other way for this side. All right, so I can't really see where it goes, so I got to pull it up and tape it to the back side here since I can see where it goes. That's the aggravating part about them sending two templates, but both are the same. Instead of printing a left and a right, they printed two right hand, and then you have to flip the left hand over. That's all right though. We'll figure it out. All right, hand me some tape, Greg, so I can tape this down on the inside. Another piece. All right, now let me get inside and drill it. All right. Perfect. All right, so I got one hole left to drill. We got to drill this front hole now to 1 3/8". Just like we did the other side. All right. Actually, no, not 1 3/8, 7/8. Whew, that would have been bad. All right, so it's the front hole, right? Yep. 7/8 of an inch. Here we go. Perfect. All right, so I want to test fit the driver's side. Hopefully it lines up as good as the passenger side did. It should. We used the same templates, so it should. All right, Greg. I think that looks good. What you think, buddy?
Man, that's good, bro.
Well, all right, Greg. I guess all we got left back here at the back is to get the metal shavings all vacuumed up and blown out of this thing. And then I got to touch up around these holes with some touch-up paint. We're gonna be ready to install these things.
Okay then.
All right, so I hadn't got my paint for this car yet, but I got some paint here left from where I painted a little 54 Chevrolet a few years ago. It's about dried up, but it's good enough to touch this up with, and I think that's actually the same color. I believe it is. I think it's the same color. All I gotta do is just touch up around these holes. Keep it from rusting. You don't wanna leave this bare metal. All right, that should get it. Now we got to give that some time to dry. All right, so after that dries, we'll be ready for the install. All right, so we're back for another day. We got the touch-up paint on yesterday. The paint's dry. So I think the next thing to do, Greg, is go ahead and just get them installed.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, let's get it going. All right, so we got a seal for the top and this chrome piece. Then we've got the antenna, a seal that goes on it, and then we've got the nut that holds it all together. Hold that for me, Greg. Got to get the rubber seal to fit this chrome piece. All right, that's it. Now let's put this on. Hold down on this right here with your finger as hard as you can. Keep that from moving. All right. This side's on there, Greg. All I gotta do now is tighten the nut up. Now to the other side. All right, now all we gotta do is tighten this side up. Looks good. All right, so the installation of the rear antennas is just about done. The only thing we've got left to do now is we've got two little brackets we got to put on. One goes on each side of the car. These little brackets go in here to steady the bottom of the antenna. We just got to screw them into the body, tighten them up, and then we got to run the cable on the driver's side and put the spare tire back in, and the installation of these rear antennas will be done. I'm gonna put it right there because of the decal for the jack stowage. I need to put it right here so that it clears that. I mean, you could put it up higher, but I don't want it in the middle of that sticker. All right, so the antennas are on, spare tire's in. The only thing I got left to do, run the cable. But unfortunately, installing that antenna wire is gonna have to wait for another day. This is a collision repair shop and we have a lot of other work to do. So in part 2 of this antenna installation video, we will be repairing this hole in the fender here. We'll go ahead and weld that hole up, fill that in, shave that antenna, and repaint this fender. But as far as the installation goes back here on the back, I didn't put a scratch on the paint. Everything looks really good back here. The weather strip fits down tight against the body. I think it's going to seal off good. I don't think he's going to have any issues with water leaking in the car. Passenger side looks good too. Just giving you guys some close-up shots here so you can see how it turned out. I think it looks good. I think the customer's going to be real happy. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for part 1 of the dual antenna installation on the 57 Chevrolet. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to get that fender painted and that antenna hole welded up and shaved off and filled in. We got to get the cable run, and then we're going to get this car delivered back to the customer. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now. We're going to have some other neat projects coming up. We've been working on the Model A for a pretty good while, and I've been working on it while I've been recording this video. So I got some other good footage coming up on that thing that's looking really good. The car's looking good. So stay tuned to the channel. Next week, we're back on the Model A. I really appreciate you guys watching. See you guys in the next one.